As you probably know, we've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela, a large tanker, very large.
At 4:12 a.m., the calm Caribbean snaps like a wire. A giant ship moves in the dark, nearly 1,000 feet long, cutting a deep black line through the sea. The tanker's skipper refuses every call to slow down. It keeps pushing north with 2 million barrels of crude inside, enough oil to change the whole region's balance if it reaches its destination. 2 Navy helicopters roar above it, so low their lights shake the waves. A Coast Guard cutter races from behind, engines screaming as the distance shrinks. 5 miles, 4, 3. The crews can feel it in their chests. This tanker is not acting normal. It is heading straight toward a restricted zone near Cuba, and it is daring the US to stop it. Alarms hit. Radios stack with voices. Hold formation. Do not let it cross the line. Every second now feels like a countdown. This is not a mistake. This is a challenge. And the skipper's crew is about to meet a force they were never ready for. If you can feel the tension building, press 1 or 9 and tell us who you think will make the first move. The skipper was not just a big ship drifting through open water. It was a moving vault filled with 2 million barrels of crude, and every drop of it mattered. In Washington, that amount of oil is not just fuel, it is cash, power, and a lifeline for the Maduro government. When a tanker this large turns off its tracking signal and takes a route known for secret transfers, the US knows something serious is happening. This was not a routine delivery, this was a hidden payout. The place where it happened makes it even more important. The Northern Caribbean is one of the tightest watched bodies of water in the entire hemisphere. Navy P-8 aircraft fly overhead every day. Coast Guard ships patrol the lanes at night. Radar stations and satellites track almost everything that moves. So when a ship nearly 1,000 feet long appears without a signal, with a history of changing names and owners, the alarms do not just ring, they explode. For the boarding teams, the stakes are real and personal. Climbing onto a tanker this size is dangerous even in daylight. At dawn, with strong winds, it becomes a gamble. A ship that heavy cannot stop quickly. A wrong turn can knock a helicopter team off the rope. A scared crew member can make a simple order turn into chaos. Every person involved knows the rule. Assume nothing, trust no movement, watch every hand. Politically, the pressure behind all of this was already boiling. Weeks earlier, Trump warned that illegal oil flows will not move another inch. Venezuela answered by accusing the US of strangling its economy. The region was on edge. Both sides waited for the next spark, and the skipper created it the moment it crossed into the Caribbean with its transponder dark. This is why the mission mattered far beyond the ship itself. Stopping it was not only about seizing oil, it was about cutting off a hidden income stream, sending a warning to every partner in the network, and proving that the Caribbean is no longer a safe path for secret deals. A tanker this big is not just cargo, it is a message. And on this morning, that message was loud enough for the whole world to hear. The first alert hits at 3:58 a.m. inside a Coast Guard command room. Unidentified tanker heading north, AIS dark, the watch officer says. The radar return is huge. A supervisor steps in, eyes fixed on the screen. That is not routine. Call the Navy. A Navy P-8 turns toward the signal. Its camera locks on the skipper, showing the long deck and heavy wake of a ship carrying a massive load. Visual confirmed, the operator says. No response from the crew. That is enough. Helicopter teams rush to their aircraft. Boarding crews tighten gear. On the cutter bridge, the captain gives the order, "Bring us closer." The cutter pushes hard through rough water. 4 miles. 3. The wind shakes the deck. Above the tanker, 2 Navy helicopters drop into formation, lights sweeping across the steel. The skipper keeps moving, silent, steady, refusing every call to slow down. The radio delivers the final command, execute boarding. The helicopters lower until the rotor wash blasts the deck. The first operator slides down the rope, boots slamming into the steel. More follow, spreading across the wide surface. When the bridge door opens, 2 scared crew members step out with their hands up. The boarding team clears each room and takes control. Inside the cutter, a petty officer watches the live feed. Bridge secured, he says, and the room finally exhales. But the work is far from done. Teams sweep through lower decks, checking systems and confirming the real cargo. When the final numbers come back, the scale of the mission becomes clear. 2 million barrels. The sky starts to brighten. The tanker now sits under US control, but the tension stays high. A ship this size can hide more than oil, and everyone knows Venezuela may react the moment news reaches land. The boarding team stays alert on the deck, watching the horizon, waiting for whatever comes next. This is not just a boarding, it is the opening move in a larger fight unfolding across the Caribbean. If you want to follow every step of this rising tension, press 1 or 9 to comment and subscribe so more people can join this story. As the sun rises, the tension on the skipper keeps climbing. The US team controls the bridge, but the ship's systems show trouble. Engine logs have missing hours, navigation records cut off halfway. Someone clearly tried to hide where this tanker has been. In the pump room, inspectors run thermal checks. The heat pattern does not match a normal load. "Check it again," one says. This is not right. Even small changes can signal hidden cargo. Above the ship, Navy helicopters widen their circle. A pilot radios in fast. Venezuelan patrol boat, 16 miles closing. The mood shifts instantly. 16 miles is time to think. 10 miles is pressure. 5 miles is danger. US command sends a calm order. Hold position. Do not escalate. But everyone knows a second vessel approaching a boarded tanker can flip the mission in seconds. Inside the skipper, FBI agents study crew documents. Names and dates do not match. One passport looks recently printed. This paperwork was thrown together, an agent says. That alone raises alarms. A technician finds something bigger. The oil sensors show far more crude than the manifest lists. The tanker is carrying extra barrels off the books. That confirms it. This was a secret shipment worth millions. The patrol boat closes to 12 miles. A helicopter shifts into a watching angle. Still no radio calls. The pilot reports. Silence only makes the moment tighter. Below deck, inspectors open a sealed folder marked Transfer Plan. It shows a planned handoff near Cuban waters, but the numbers are wrong again. The picture becomes clear. Extra oil. Missing logs. 6 hours of blackout. Someone built this run to move through the Caribbean without being traced. The patrol boat enters 10 miles. The sea feels heavy. The boarding team slows their steps. Everyone senses the shift. Another ship arriving now could be here to watch or to interfere. On the cutter, a petty officer watches the radar and whispers, "This is turning into something bigger." The sky brightens, but the tension deepens. This is no longer just a boarding. It is becoming a standoff in open water. If you want to see how this plays out and who moves first, press 1 or 9 to comment and subscribe so more people can follow this rising pressure. The first sign of trouble shows in the water, not on radar. A strange wave cuts against the wind, and seconds later, a new contact appears. A second vessel is entering from a blind angle between two islands, moving far faster than any routine patrol. The operator stiffens. Speed 30 knots, coming straight in. No one knows its intent, and that makes the moment dangerous. The vessel gives no ID, no radio call, no change of course. It heads right toward the area where US teams are still on the skipper. Inside the bridge, the FBI pauses their work. The boarding team leader studies the helicopter feed. That boat is not random. The skipper's crew reacts poorly. When asked about any support ship, one crewman finally admits, "We were told not to stop for anyone." That line changes everything. The missing logs, the blackout hours, the extra oil, now a fast-moving contact, is joining the scene. On the cutter, analysts pull up satellite images from the past 2 days. The skipper was seen near a small, unmarked ship. The outline matches the new vessel. Another image shows the tanker dark during the same hours a false location signal was detected. Someone tried to hide this journey. The second vessel closes quickly. 10 miles, 8, 7. Still no answer. The cutter captain broadcasts, "Unknown vessel, alter course now." Silence. 6 miles. Helicopters shift positions, watching both ships. The boarding team moves the skipper's crew to a secure spot. The air feels tight. as if everyone knows the next move will shape the rest of the mission. 5 miles. The vessel finally adjusts slightly, but toward the cutter, not away. A Navy pilot follows it closely and radios. It knows we're here, and it is not backing off. The twist becomes clear. The skipper was never meant to move alone. This second vessel is part of the same hidden run, arriving too late to help a tanker already under US control. Whatever it planned to do, the moment has already passed. At 5 miles, the second vessel finally comes into clear view. Medium-sized, fast, no flag, no markings, charging straight toward the scene. A Navy helicopter zooms in. No ID. Intentional approach, the pilot reports. The cutter bridge tightens. Everyone knows what that means. 4 miles. On the skipper's deck, the boarding team holds steady. They secured the bridge and the crew, but an unknown vessel arriving now could flip the mission in seconds. Hold position, the team leader orders. 3 miles? The vessel shifts slightly toward the cutter. A small move, but enough to send a message. It's turning on us, a petty officer says. 2.5 miles. The cutter fires a warning flare. A red arc streaks across the sky, lighting the tanker's steel. The sea goes quiet except for engine rumble. No reply, no change. 2 miles. The vessel slows, but only slightly. Not a retreat, more like a test. A Navy helicopter drops lower, creating a visible line between the cutter and the unknown craft. Inside the skipper, inspectors confirm everything. Altered gauges, missing logs, extra crude. This trip was built to hide something, an agent says. 1.5 miles. The unknown vessel drifts to the side instead of pushing forward. It circles at a distance, watching every move. Maintain course. Do not escalate, the captain says. 1 mile. For a few long seconds, no one speaks. The mission now hinges on one choice, whether the vessel comes closer or backs off. If it advances again, the situation changes instantly. Then, slowly, the vessel begins turning away. A white trail spreads behind it as it pulls back toward open water. The helicopter pilot keeps eyes locked on it. It's breaking off. Relief spreads through the cutter, but not for long. Complete the mission, the captain orders. The boarding team clears the last compartments. Inspectors seal the evidence. Helicopters widen their watch around the tanker. The skipper is fully under US control. The shadow vessel is retreating, and the Caribbean finally settles, at least for now. But no one mistakes this for an ending. Hidden networks do not stay quiet after a hit like this. This was only the first shock. The fallout is coming next. By late morning, the skipper is fully under US control, moving slowly under escort as helicopters and the Navy P-8 watch from above. Boarding teams seal the last evidence bags, altered logs, missing entries, fake navigation trails, and far more crude than the manifest claimed. 2 million barrels now sit in the open instead of disappearing into a hidden network. Venezuela reacts instantly, calling the operation piracy and accusing the US of stealing national resources. But photos released by US officials show a different story. Tampered gauges, erased routes, and a tanker running dark in one of the most monitored waters in the region. The facts spread fast, raising tension across the Caribbean. In Washington, the tone is the opposite. Trump calls it a major hit on illegal oil flows. Analysts say the intercept is one of the boldest maritime actions in years. The images of the warning flare, the helicopters overhead, and the shadow vessel pulling away begin circulating online. The question grows louder. If this was one tanker, how many others are running the same routes? Across the region, governments start adjusting. Cuba strengthens its coastal radar. Colombia requests intelligence updates. Even neutral nations ask for briefings. Everyone understands the message. The US is willing to stop covert oil runs in open water, no matter who is behind them. For the boarding teams, the mission becomes personal. They boarded a massive tanker at dawn, not knowing how the crew would react or whether another ship would interfere. Now, with the skipper secure and the second vessel gone, they feel the weight of what they prevented: money, influence, and a potential regional spark. As the convoy heads toward secure waters, the sea finally settles. But no one believes this is over. Networks like this do not stop after one loss. Someone will try again. Another ship, another route, another plan. The skipper's seizure ends one run, but it starts a much bigger fight. If you want to follow how this story unfolds, press 1 or 9 to comment and subscribe so more people can stay with us for the next chapter.